Right? It's Freestyle Friday time, August 13th. It's Friday the 13th. Okay, we're going to end this now that I said that because I
Before
don't know
Jason
what's
comes to get us.
happening to me. Oh, seriously, it is Friday, August 13th of 2021. Hello, I'm your host of our Freestyle Friday, Chauncey. They call me, who knows what they call me, Brandy, around these parts at SI. Am I the communications guru, expert? Am I a content creator? I don't know. Whatever I am, though, you're the boss. How are you, Brandy?
Doing well, John. How are you doing today?
I'm here, even though it's Friday the 13th.
Staying
Yeah,
cool?
I'm going to try. Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to throw this in as a bonus. If you subscribe to Optimum, so cable, phone, internet, whatever, just know if you want to cancel their service, they force you to do it on the 15th of every month. So you have to plan it because let's say that you want to cancel on the 22nd. No, they will cancel you, but you'll pay until the next 15th. Okay. Also, if you cancel, ask them for what your final charge will be. Because if you have deals, they might rescind them. And once you have been canceled, they will tell you that they can't fix a mistake they made on your bill. Just letting y'all know. Optimum owned by Altice. Now, with that said, we have 3 topics today.
Hey.
The first one, maybe this is about canceling as well, Brandy. I don't know. Because we just had an Olympics in Tokyo. And the confusing thing was they kept calling it the Summer Olympics of 2020. I was like, it's
It
2020.
was
Like, look, I
so
understand. It was so weird. So, like, in the future, like 50 years from now, they're going to be looking at it going, oh, that was in 2020. No, it was very weird. But anyway, that just ended. And of course, because of the state that we're all in across the globe, sparsely attended, people couldn't travel other than the athletes and so on. And supposedly viewership was down. But the thing about hosting the Olympics for a city is that, of course, it's expensive. So the question is, can you get a return on your investment? And what I read before we were talking about this today, Brandy, what I read about it is if you agree and you build the infrastructure, it was better for Tokyo to go through with hosting it than to cancel it monetarily. Also, if you build structures specifically for the Olympics, what they found is you don't get a return. Recently, the only cities that have did not build. They used what they already had in existing as structures and things like that. So, all of that to say that the Washington Post has an article entitled "Fewer and Fewer Want to Host the Olympics." That should tell the IOC something. Mm. Now, the IOC is the International Olympic Committee. They choose cities. So the question is, well, Brandy, tell us if you were in charge of a city, would you make a bid for the Olympics? Why? Why not?
I probably would make a bid for the Olympics, but I would have a plan for making a bid for the Olympics. And like you said, I doubt that the city would build some structure specifically for the Olympics. But if we could have leveraged the Olympics being in our city and see the ROI of it being there, I'm totally open to put in a bid and make it make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, but fewer and fewer are doing it because of the cost of doing that. Because if you don't have the right stadiums and all of those other things you need to host all of the events,
You got to build
it's
it.
not really worth it. Yeah. Also, I mean, you have people coming to your city. Now, tourism is a great thing, but not always. So these are things they have to weigh. Now, NBC, they have the rights to broadcast the Olympics, so they'll get sponsorship dollars, all of that, which I think they did fairly well this year, even. But we'll see what happens to that moving forward as well. Okay. Now, with this said, speaking of advertising dollars, what about advertising dollars in space? Richard Branson went up there, right? We know Mr. Amazon himself went up there as well. Bezos.
Mm-hmm.
Now the ads are going with them. Because someone else in this space, as you call it, Brandy, Elon Musk, everyone's favorite, is launching a satellite that will let you advertise on a billboard in space, according to Gadgets 360. Why? What is this? What does that even mean? A billboard in space? Is that like we can see it on Earth, or do you have to be in space to see the billboard? What do you think about this, Brandy? Would you get in on the ground floor of billboards in space before it takes off?
Absolutely.
Pun not intended.
If I can get a really, really good deal on it, and then leverage it as the first billboard in space, because it would totally be a publicity play. Like, because who's going?
What if you put a second billboard in space?
I think I could flip that too. I could totally leverage that one as well. I'm one of two exclusive space billboards. You understand? So that's how you can totally make that work. And I mean, honestly, with as crowded as digital, social media is becoming, maybe we do need to start trying to put stuff in space to actually get seen.
Yeah. I mean, it says that, of course, he's the SpaceX CEO, along with Tesla, all of that. So they're saying by next year, the team is aiming to send a satellite into space aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket that will enable advertising content to be beamed from Earth. I mean, it just sounds cool. So it would depend on the cost, probably.
Yep.
It's the cost and whether that the coolness factor fits your business and is worth that cost. Mm-hmm. I would think of it as a sunken cost. I would just say I'm not going to get anything out of it other than cool.
Absolutely. It's a branding opportunity. It is a publicity and branding opportunity cost. That is exactly what it is.
Exactly. And I think if there's an enterprising startup, that might be the way to go. Just if you're really ready to go to the market, if you time it right, that might be a good thing to do. Because then you get free in quotes.
Right.
Publicity. Mm-hmm. Look at us strategizing and giving away free ideas. You can pay me.
Yeah.
Now,
sustainable.
Speaking of paying and advertising as well. Like I said, it's Friday the 13th. I had to do a little John David Washington there. Did it.
I know.
It's Friday the 13th. It is Friday the 13th, and in honor of this occasion, according to a Mashed.com article, Krispy Kreme is flipping it on his head. There is no problem with Friday the 13th. Instead, you can get 2 dozen, 24, now, Brandy was trying to say in our meeting before we did this, isn't it 26 baker's dozen? No, stop being greedy. It's already 24 donuts for $13. Now, MASH, they're going, really, the only problem with this is you got to choose 24 donuts. Which ones?
No.
Just go with the original.
Go with the original.
And I mean, if you want to spice it up, you can do the chocolate one, but the chocolate is chocolate on the original. I mean,
it's too sweet.
Wow. It's a lot. So, well, Brandy, what do you think? Would you take advantage of this on Friday the 13th? Would you brave the stigma of the 13th to pay $13, thereby just compounding the problem, paying $13 on the 13th, but it's for 24 donuts? That's the change. What do you think about this? Tell me this, Brandy. Here's my question to you. From the consumer perspective, how would you think most people would receive that? And from Krispy Kreme's perspective, what's the thought process behind this? Mm-hmm.
So the consumer perspective, I don't even know what the cost of a regular Krispy Kreme donut is right now. So if I don't know, assuming that it's $1 a donut, this is like a 50%, what do you call it? A 50% discount, right? You're buying like 2 for the price of 1. So maybe, around somewhere in that window. So from the consumer perspective, it's really cool. Another thing is that I think they have like a limit. I can't remember like the limit to how many they're going to give out that day. So like, it's like you get there before they're gone. You can only buy 4. I don't know why you need 8 cases of Krispy Kreme donuts, but I don't know what you're doing. I'm not going to judge you. But from a consumer,
maybe you have a party.
Maybe there's a Friday the 13th party. Donuts are the main event. And then we're really capitalizing off of that $13 TO. Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme is like, they're really trying to get back on the map because we know Krispy Kreme kind of died out for a little while. They were big for a while. They came, in with the pillow, the sweet pillow donuts, as I call them, because they're literally like eating air pillows. It's like
you're calling them that. What are you, a sweet pillow donut?
They're like pillows. Like when you land to a pillow and you fall in. It's like when you bite into the Krispy Kreme donut, it's like you fall in.
Yeah, the vanishing point, as they call it in the lingo. Yes.
Yes. So they were around. It was a big deal that you could go to the drive-thru and see the donuts being made through the glass windows. Then they kind of died off for a little bit. You only saw them in like the traveling centers like Penn Station and stuff like that. They would have these little kiosks. I have no idea when they came back. Probably around the same time that 7-Eleven made a peak comeback, maybe about 3 to 5 years ago. And now that this went on in like Midtown Manhattan, it's a freaking real life Krispy Kreme's donut. So I think part of that marketing strategy as they re-enter the market is to be a part of a bunch of things. Like, if you didn't know and you want to maximize this opportunity and you have a vaccine card, Krispy Kreme's offering you a free donut for being vaccinated. So that is something that I think they're doing, of course, to help to market themselves. And this is just another opportunity to leverage something that already has a history and kind of a following behind it. So I think it's a smart play whenever you can take something that's trending, something that's well known, and then swoop your mission, brand, messaging, marketing initiatives right into it.
Yeah. According to Krispy Kreme, their menu prices, Brandy, it is 99 cents for one original glazed. For a dozen original glazed, $7.99. For assorted varieties, one piece, $1.09. And for a dozen of assorted, $8.99. So you are getting a little bit of a discount.
Okay. All right, Krispy Kremes. And there's some rumor that like the fluff or something comes from some use of mashed potato. Well, they say mashed potatoes, but they use potato starch in the recipe. So if you're trying to recreate the Krispy Kreme donut, if you are so ambitious when they make donuts at home, add a little potato starch to your batter and see what you do, what you get.
What about tapioca starch?
Tapioca starch could work too. It can. Tapioca. The thing about tapioca starch, when you use it, it produces a shinier finished product. So that's just, if you care about the look, if you're looking for something a little more matte or dull, then tapioca starch probably shouldn't be part of your plan. But if you care about the shine factor, tapioca starch should be part of your plan.
Thank you, Chef. So there we go. On that tapioca, matte, dull, shiny note. That's Freestyle Friday. So everybody, if you want to host the Olympics, consider the cost. Also, if you want to advertise, why not go into space? Do it while you can and keep some money in your pockets. And don't forget, on Friday the 13th, if you are happening upon a Krispy Kreme, you can pay $13 to get 24 donuts, whatever you choose. We'll see you next week for our next Freestyle Friday. See you then, Brandy. Bye-bye.
Later, Jones.